Okay, thank you for watching the video. Hopefully that helped helped you understand better how to go through some of these questions. And you'll notice in the video example, we also introduced you to assessing frequency and duration, which we haven't yet covered. So we're just going to do that really quickly. So you can see at the very bottom of the form, there are three fields. So after you define the problem behavior itself in observable and measurable terms, it's also nice to get a sense of the frequency and duration of the behavior. This can provide kind of a nice baseline to use to compare if your interventions are making a difference or not. But it's also nice before you go into your observations so you know what to anticipate in terms of the behavior. So first question here, what's the frequency of the problem behavior? So number of times in a day, number of times in an hour, number of times in the lunch period, how frequently is it occurring? Then the duration, how long does the behavior occur once it does start? And so naturally, if you're looking at something like off-task behavior, you might be looking at longer periods of time. If you're looking at just like using inappropriate language, that might be something that happens really quickly, or it might be something that turns into a ongoing tirade. So you can kind of get a sense of what again the frequency and duration are. And then finally, the last item is the behavior immediate danger to self and others? And remember, if it is a danger, this is where we want to go and refer the case to a behavior specialist and really have a sense of urgency about moving forward and getting some supports in place. And there'll be some additional things that are involved in the case around crisis planning and those types of things. So danger can be defined as directly injuring another student or self with their behavior, such as hitting, throwing, and dangerous objects. So we have a little activity here, and just to make sure and to be clear, that you understand dangerous behavior from not dangerous behavior. This is our liability clause here. So we're going to look at each of these. Striking another student with their fist, yes or no, dangerous or not dangerous? Yeah, we'd say that's dangerous. Tapping other students? No, tapping other students isn't really considered dangerous unless it's really excessive. Throwing paper across the room? Probably not a dangerous behavior. Throwing scissors at other students? This could very potentially be dangerous. And so again, we're oftentimes considering a pattern of behaviors here, and how the scissors is thrown might come into play a little bit here, what the intent is for the student. But again, we want to be cautious if there is any potential for dangerous behavior, and take those needs seriously. Slams hand on the desk. That's probably not considered a dangerous behavior. Slams head on the desk. Now again, in some cases that could be easily considered a dangerous behavior, especially if there is kind of an intent to harm, or the rigor and force with which the student is slamming their head. Calls other students names, probably not a dangerous behavior. And again, remember, just to reiterate, if the student is exhibiting dangerous behaviors, refer to the behavior specialist, and let's really start with the procedures for a more complex FBA to BSP. All right, so now we're going to move on to activity 4, and here again is where we want you to practice. And so we encourage you to pull out the form that you started with Tracy in your participant guide, or you may have downloaded it from the web page, but you should have completed the initial section of that from the routines analysis based on the interview that you listened to. And so for the first one, you don't need to listen to an interview yet. We just want you to do the prioritizing of the targeted routines based on your routines analysis data. So go in and fill in that section where you prioritize routines, and then watch the video below, and you can fill in the data for defining the problem behavior, and then the ratings, the information around frequency, duration, and potential danger for the problem behavior.